Good day, I am Lauren Christian M. Sabana together with my groupmates Daisy Busico, Aiza Imperio, Reno Yukaila Ladonga, and Riza May S. Remedio, and we are here to present the Dorothea's Orem Self-Care Deficit Theory.
She worked as a staff nurse, private duty nurse, nurse educator, administrator, and nurse consultant. Received honorary Doctor of Science degree in 1976. Her theory was first published in Nursing Concept of Practice in 1971, second in 1980, next is 1995, and 2001. According to Dorothea Orem, nursing is a practical endeavor, but it is a practical endeavor engaged in by person who have specialized theoretic nursing knowledge. We develop capabilities to put this knowledge to work in concrete situation of nursing practice.
Orem's general theory of nursing's three related parts: theory of self-care, theory of self-care deficit theory, and theory of nursing system.
A. The theory of self-care. This theory includes self-care, practice of activities that an individual initiates and performs on his or her own behalf in maintaining life, health, and well-being. Self-care agency, a human ability which is the ability for engaging in self-care or conditioned by age, orientation, health, and available resources. Therapeutic self-care demand, totality of self-care actions to be performed for some duration in order to meet self-care requisites by using valid methods and related sets of operation and actions. Self-care requisites, action directed towards provision of self-care. The three categories of self-care requisites are the universal self-care requisites, developmental self-care requisites, and health development self-care requisites. The universal self-care requisites, associated with life processes and the maintenance of the integrity of human structures and functioning, common to all activities of daily living, identifies these requisites as maintenance of sufficient intake of air, water, food, provision of care associated with the elimination process, balance between activity and rest, between solitude and social interaction, prevention of hazards to human life, well-being, and promotion of human function. 2. Developmental self-care requisites, associated with development process or derived from a condition or associated with an event. Example is adjusting to a new job or adjusting to body changes. 3. The health deviation self-care, required in condition of illness, injury, or disease. These include seeking and securing appropriate medical assistance, being aware of and attending to the effects and results of pathologic conditions, effectively carrying out of medically prescribed measures, modifying self-concepts in accepting oneself as being in a particular state of health and in specific forms of health care, and learning to live with effective of pathologic conditions.
Theory of self-care deficit. First, specify when nursing is needed. Second, nursing is required when an adult, or in case of a dependent, the parent, incapable or limited in the provision of continuous effective self-care. Orem identifies 5 methods of helping: acting for and doing for others, guiding others, supporting another, providing an environment, promoting personal development in relation to meet future demand, and teaching another.
C. Theory of nursing system. Describe how the patient's self-care needs will be met by the nurse, patient, or both. Identifies 3 classification of nursing system to meet the self-care requisites of the patient. First is wholly compensatory system, second is partly compensatory system, and the last one is supportive educative system. Wholly compensatory system. Nurse should be compensating for a patient's total inability for or prescription against engaging in self-care activities that requires ambulation and manipulation movements. Partly compensatory system. Both nurse and patient perform care measures or other actions involving manipulative tasks or ambulation. Supportive educative systems. For situations where the patient is able to perform required measures of externally or internally oriented therapeutic self-care but cannot do so without assistance.
Orem stated, one or more of these three types of nursing systems may be used with a single patient over a period of time. Designs and elements of nursing system defined. Scope of nursing responsibility in healthcare situations. General and specific roles of nurses and patients. Reasons for nurses' relationship with patients. Orem recognized that specialized technologies are usually developed by members of the health profession. A technology is systematized information about a process or a method for affecting some desired result through deliberate practical endeavor, with or without use of materials or instruments. Categories of technologies are social or interpersonal and regulatory technologies.
Meta-paradigm. Nursing is art, a healthcare service, a technology. Action deliberately selected and performed by nurse to help individuals or group under their care to maintain or change condition in themselves or their environment. Encompasses the patient's perspective of health condition, the physician perspective, and nursing perspective. Goal of nursing: to render the patient or member of his family capable of meeting the patient's self-care needs, to maintain state of health, to regain and stabilize. Health. Health and healthy are terms used to describe living things. It is when they are structurally and functionally whole or sound. Wholeness or integrity includes that make a person human, operating a physiological mechanism and material structure in relation to interacting with other human beings. Environment. Environment components are environment factor elements, condition, and develop environment.
Human being has the capacity to reflect, symbolize, and use symbols. Conceptualized as a total being with universal development needs and capable of continuous self-care. A unity that can function biologically, symbolically, and socially.
Nursing client. A human being who has health-related or health-derived limitations that render him incapable of continuous self-care or dependent care limitations that result in effective or incomplete care. A human being is the focus of nursing only when a self-care requisites exceed self-care capabilities.
Nursing problem. Deficit in universal developmental and health-derived or health-related conditions. Nursing process. A system to determine: first, why a person is under care. Second, a plan of care. Third, the implementation of care. Nursing therapeutics, deliberate system, and purposeful action.
The theories,
The theory-
application, practice. Many articles document the use of the self-care theory as a basis for clinical practice. Orem self-care deficit theory has been used in the context of the nursing process to teach patients to increase their self-care agency, to evaluate nursing practice, and to differentiate nursing from medical practice. Education. Orem self-care deficit theory has been the focus of the curriculum in nursing education at many schools of nursing. Research. The self-care theory provided a conceptual framework for many researches. Since we are in the midst of pandemic, so here's the video to understand the application of Dorothea Orem self-care deficit nursing theory.
Nurses have different roles in one's life. Those people we see on the streets, those patients who are about to die, and those families who have connections with the patient. Those are the people who have lives that can be touched by the nurses. What can nurses do for their patients? Nurses are the ones who monitor the patient. They play a great role in the patient's recovery. They communicate with the patient and the patient's family.
Sir, maayong buntag. Mauday ni ang mga imong dapat buhaton ug tumaron para sa imong kaayuhan. Una,
this is one of their ways in order to help the patient achieve quality of life. Nurses can provide care and assistance to their patient. Nurses can give supportive educative to the patient, wherein they guide and educate them with the things that they are confused with. Nurses can also give partially compensatory assistance to the patient. The nurse's role here is to help the patient when the patient cannot do some of the things that he used to do. Nurses can also provide wholly compensatory assistance to the patient. They are the ones who do the things that the patient cannot do for themselves. Indeed, nurses are important in our society. Maybe they are the one you see on the nurses' station and do different things. What we can't see is that they actually enter the hospital with a happy face. Knowing that they have touched many people's lives, they also finish their duties also with a smiling face.